Two more things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president.
Breaking news. Chainlink and Pyth selected to deliver U.S. economic data on the blockchain.
And we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it.
This was the direct post from the U.S. Commerce Department, as well as a direct quote from Secretary Howard Lutnick. He says, "It's only fitting that the Commerce Department and President Donald Trump, the crypto president, publicly release economic statistical data on the blockchain. We are making America's economic truth immutable and globally accessible like never before, cementing our role as the blockchain capital of the world. And everybody has to admit that 3.3% GDP growth is impressive." And we see right on the official government website, they mention Chainlink, they mention Pyth, and this is history. This is the first time a federal agency has published economic statistical data like this on the blockchain, and the latest way the department is utilizing innovative technology to protect federal data and promote public use. And the United States government, specifically the U.S. Department of Commerce, yes, they chose Chainlink, yes, they chose Pyth, but those aren't layer 1 blockchains. Chainlink works with many layer 1 or layer 2 blockchains to bring external data onto the blockchain, and these are the chains that the U.S. government found value in. The department published an official hash of its quarterly GDP data release for 2025, and in some cases, the top-line GDP number to the following 9 blockchains: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Stellar, Avalanche, Arbitrum One, Polygon, and Optimism. This is Signal. And how this affects you if you hold one of those 9 layer 1 cryptos, or if you hold Chainlink, if you hold Pyth. The initiative, a first for the US government, opens up new possibilities for developers building in DeFi and beyond. For example, lending protocols like Aave, like Compound, etc., could adjust their interest rates based on GDP trends, while prediction markets might incorporate the PCE index to crowdsource inflation forecasts. Nothing that those DeFi protocols couldn't do already, it just took multiple steps, right? I mean, we had this data, we had data like this, the GDP, the PCE, we had this data before, but it had to be put on the chain, used in these protocols, multiple intermediaries. This is historic because it's the natural evolution of technology. This data can now be utilized near instantly. This could make crypto lending protocols actually more beneficial for average people to use versus TradFi, because the TradFi ecosystem now is going to seem a whole lot slower when these crypto lending protocols can get this information near instantly, use this information, adjust their rates based on this information in near real time, immutably, and how this, of course, affects Chainlink. And by the way, click subscribe to Altcoin Daily if you appreciate these daily updates. It is completely free. It costs you nothing. Click subscribe to have an edge investing in crypto. Because how this affects Chainlink, we know that founder of Chainlink, Sergey Nazarov, appeared on Altcoin Daily with a big announcement. They announced on the show the Chainlink Strategic Reserve was formed. Here's how the reserve affects Chainlink holders.
Chainlink Strategic Reserve is meant to answer, very specific questions about how off-chain revenue relates to the Chainlink system. So there have been questions in the past about, hey, there's all this adoption of Chainlink in the on-chain world by DeFi and on various blockchains, but there's also all this adoption that you see in the capital markets, by various chains, by various enterprises, in various parts of the global financial system, in different stages of adoption, from POC to pilot to some folks already being in production. And there's been a question of, okay, well, how does all of that enterprise activity of different types and different stages then relate back to the system? And this is, a question that many different protocols and systems have that have a lot of off-chain adoption, or a lot of adoption in places outside of the on-chain transactions. And so what the Chainlink Strategic Reserve does...
So essentially what he is saying is this: a strategic on-chain reserve funded directly by off-chain and on-chain revenue. Here's how it works. Big enterprises, or in this case, the U.S. Commerce Department, the government, pay for Chainlink services in fiat or stablecoins. Through payment abstraction, that revenue gets automatically converted into Link. Then that Link gets locked into the reserve to support the long-term growth, meaning the more the network gets used, the more Link gets locked away.
And what the Chainlink Strategic Reserve is where a significant portion of that Link that is converted will then sit. So it'll sit in the strategic reserve. We don't expect it to be used or moved or needed for a number of years. We do expect it at some point to be used for the growth and the success of the Chainlink network.
And this is live in real time. We see as of today, the Chainlink reserve has accumulated over 42,298 Link. They now hold almost 200,000 Link tokens. And some of you are asking why the US Commerce Department didn't include XRP. After all, they included Stellar, which is like an XRP. They're doing essentially the same thing. But why choose Stellar and not XRP? I will say this, and institutional TradFi does not want to admit this. The mainstream media does not want to admit this. But retail, meaning average people, love XRP this cycle.
Need help.
Okay.
Investing. Don't know what to do, what it is, but I need help. I need help.
Okay, so I would recommend, so me personally, I have 1.3 million in XRP. So right now it's about $2 and something cents, but the community knows that when I know it will bump up to $10, I'm going to be basically set for life. So I would highly recommend buying XRP. Why are you crying?
What the hell did you just say?
XRP,
I couldn't even understand what X could even stand for.
it doesn't stand for anything. It's just like, XRP doesn't stand for anything like explicitly. It's just like
I'm screwed. Crypto men, come this way. Help me.
just put money into XRP and then you're set for life.
Put my money in it.
Or just spend it all, whatever you want to do.
Well, will the IRS come after me if I, they won't come after me if I do that?
You haven't paid taxes in 2 years, so they're going to come after you anyway.
Not if I had my money in this XPR stuff. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Just do that.
There is no doubt in my mind that cryptocurrency is going so much higher. And you could say, Austin, this is clearly a top signal. This is when you sell. But this clip is actually from the beginning of June. So we've had at least 6-8 weeks, and crypto has gone much higher in spite of this. And I'm not saying that XRP isn't a fundamentally made in America great project. It is. But they're one of the hype coins this cycle. TikTok retail loves them. And it is outrageous to me that some people are saying, Austin, we're beginning the bear market, we're about to go lower, when we're getting announcements like this that the U.S. Department of Commerce is using these 9 blockchains, sees value in Pyth and Chainlink, and you think we're going lower? I am obviously not a financial advisor. I cannot see the future. But to me, this consolidation, up-down consolidation, is very similar to the consolidation we saw after the Bitcoin ETF approvals, after the presidential election, now after this Genius Act stablecoin bill, which was just passed. Maybe we do sink down back to 102, 104, $100,000 Bitcoin. Corrections are healthy, but there is noise, and then there is signal, and to me, this is signal. As I get more information, I will keep you updated. Really appreciate everybody that stuck around to the end of the video. Have a great weekend, guys. I was going to say a little more, but, like always, see you tomorrow.